So can we now invite Salim Master, Hyderi's Honorary Secretary, to say a few words, please? Sorry, yeah, Treasurer. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.
I haven't got promotion yet. My elders, sisters and brothers, Assalamu alaikum. And Eid al-Zahra Mubarak to all of you. We have two important guests of honor with us tonight. First, Al-Hajj Murtaza Bhai Kanani, well known to us as head of spiritual journeys. And just to be fair, there are other ziyarat groups, and you'll see the flyers on the screen. So let me just balance it out. Anyway, we see Murtaza Bhai, a frequent visitor to Hyderi. However, in the last week, he was elected as the Vice President of the Council of European Jamaat. So therefore, a big congratulations to Murtaza Bhai and welcome. We are also honored tonight to have with us Al-Hajj Shabbir Bhai Najafi, Chair of Africa Federation, one of the biggest community of Khojas in the world. Shabbir Bhai earlier this evening visited our pioneer place and had a chance to look around. I'd like to invite him, please, to come and share a few thoughts about what he thought about our new center, and also for a few of us to remind us about what is still our homeland. If you can join me with a night, Nare Salawat. Shabbir Bhai, please, if you don't mind. Few words.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My respected scholar, Sayyid Dr. Amar Nakshwani, the President of Hyderi Islamic Center, Al-Hajj Dr. Liaquat Bhai Devji, the Vice Chairman, Vice President of Council of European Jamaats, also the past Honorary Treasurer of Africa Federation and the President of Nairobi Jamaat, Al-Hajj Murtaza Bhai Kanani, the members of the Executive Committee, trustees, the Chair Lady of Hyderi, Sister Sukena Bhai Rajwani, my elders, brothers, sisters, Assalamu alaikum. First and foremost, my Mubaraki on this auspicious eve of Eid al-Zahra to all of you. I also would like to convey, Mr. President, to yourself, Jamaat, our salams from my office bearers of Africa Federation, the trustees of Africa Federation, the presidents of the Jamaats of Africa, and the membership of Africa Federation. Mr. President, I thank you and indeed am honored to be amongst the wonderful community of Hyderi. And also, we thank you for availing us this platform to enlighten everybody here on Africa Federation, although that's a task which takes a long time. But I will. Many of you know of Africa Federation, some of you may not. So I'll just highlight what is Africa Federation. Africa Federation is similar to Council of Europe, is the federation of the Jamaats of Africa. It covers 10 countries. We have two mini federations, the Madagascar Territorial Council and the Reunion, and totally Africa Federation is a federation of 40 Jamaats. This is the diaspora of Africa here. So you are all familiar with our destinations in East Africa, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania. I would say you add on Reunion. It's a French-governed island, a lovely, beautiful place. So you have another add-on to your visits to Africa. Africa Federation is marking 75 years. This year it was one of the first federations, and it's grown enormously over the years. It has evolved, and we're marking 75 years. It was the first federation, and it was on the basis of this federation that Marhum Mullah Askar then formed the World Federation, and the other federation followed. I'll give you a brief insight, but we have a Supreme Council meeting where obviously the COAGE leadership and the president are invited, which is end of this month. It's our annual Supreme Council meeting, which will be live on YouTube, so you can see the other activities. It's a very complex. There's a lot of activities, and it's your mother organizations. We have 11 boards, which are the implementing arms of Africa Federation. And they are Tabligh, which has got Bilal under it, Aftab, Sports, Education, Women's Board, Capacity Building, and totaling 11 in all sectors. I will just start with some boards. We have Bilal, we have Tabligh, which is split in two. One is Bilal. Bilal, Africa Federation uniquely got two communities, and that's very unique in our global setup. One is the Bilal community, which has a population of 50,000 plus, and it's building, and Bilal has become a huge outfit. And then we have the Khoja community, which is 21,000 in numbers, spread over 40 Jamaats. Bilal does, from the Tabligh, we have Bilal and Aftab. Aftab is internal Tabligh, Bilal is external Tabligh, and it caters for spreading the word of Ahlul Bayt. Tabligh, it does economic, it does upliftments, education, healthcare, eye centers, and it's growing. And it has under its wing 140 centers plus in the whole of Africa. The budget in total Africa would be in excess of 2.5 million every year, out of which 1.2 to 1.5 million comes directly from our Kitio Federation every year. Come December, that has to be dispersed. So it's growing. It is now expanding. We are just now embarking on a huge project headquarters where it will house more schools. We've just completed a 7-story Mubalagin training center in Tanga, which was just completed and handed over. And the new campus will be a multi-million-dollar project. What is getting, as Bilal and as our centers are growing, we are getting scarcity of Mubalagins and teachers and sheikhs. So we are doing schools, and we say the Mar will also come and give us more tips when you're up and running. We want scholars to come from outside. We need to produce teachers and sheikhs for the Bilal centers. The internal Tabligh Aftab, that focuses on madrasas. We just had an assessment done throughout all of Africa. It does the madrasa, the alim support, the internal Tabligh, the social vices, and very recently, one of the things they've added is we are launching, hopefully it has been delayed for technical, we've invested good monies in VSS, which is a virtual safe space. It's going to have up to 100 different, it will have scholars, lawyers, psychiatrists, business advisors, and this is accessible for the whole world. And there is different types, anonymous, one-to-one. So you select, you have a leader like Sayyid Amar or whoever, you can have anonymous, you can have open. So this we are creating a safe space for the entire globe. Our madrasas, We're looking at recruitments of teachers, upgrading it, bringing up the standards, the infrastructures, and it's a big area to cover, so that work goes on. And then, obviously, we have welfare. Africa Federation has got a lot of challenges, but we managed to keep up with the challenge. Yes, there's always going to be deficit. Capital projects are one thing, those you seek donations for, but our operational challenges are growing, the needs are increasing, the needs are costlier. So we, alhamdulillah, this is the beauty of our global community. We manage to match it and whatever challenges come. But obviously it needs the support. Africa has sent Africa, there is a migration of students and people for greener pastures. Our diaspora has added value here in terms of human resources, and they have now become donors. We are very proud of the African diaspora which is here. It has now become the integral part of our communities here. So we are going on. Welfare is something we are quickly looking at making a farewell. It will always stay in every society, but we want to reduce it. And how do we do it? You see, we had this tendency over the years of just feeding or doing this. We have decided 10, 12 years ago that we need to uplift. We got to maintain the middle class, because the times, as you know, if the middle class dwindles, it's very, very difficult. And the lower, I don't mean classes, but the lower income sector, we want to uplift. And how do you do that? Yes, we will continue welfare, we'll continue everything, but we need to empower them. And how do you empower them? Two things: education and housing. And this is exactly what we are doing. And I've been in the system been serving for many years. And I've seen, when I was the vice, before I took the responsibility of being the head servant in my current term, that a family, either it was hand to mouth or was welfare, as soon as an education was given to that kid from nursery, we cover, no child in Africa will not be educated because of lack of money. That's an assurance that our Jamaat gi, and that continues. And then it comes to university level, is where Africa Federation with the Jamaats comes and sponsors that for 5 years. It's a $6 million project we got. And in education, we are spending. And when my treasury or they say spending, I said, this is investment. Every year, come December, we have the students that are continuing $1 million. So yes, again, we are there, and you together, all of us will maintain. There's no complaints, we're not moving back or we're not crying. Yes, we need support, and it comes from all. So we decided that if we uplift in education, and I've seen over the years, a family was on welfare, 5 years finishes, whether the kid or the son or the daughter are in United Kingdom or elsewhere, you know, the basic, even if they went for pharmacy or whatever, start from 35,000 or whatever, the next 6 months, the family back home is not on welfare it was, or it is not struggling anymore, because this 500 or 1,000 comes from here. It's upliftment. Give education, that is what we want to invest. We are a very resourceful community globally. We have a lot of wealth. Our GDP of the Khojas, or the members of the whole body, is more than some countries. So we have the resources, we have the know-how, we have talent, although our brain drain there, but it's all here. So we have everything. There's no reason, but we just got to work together, get it, not give in. Education, education, education. And I've seen every 5 years, the family transforms. That's why I'm emphasizing here. Second is shelter. You see, at the moment, we've got the rent-to-own schemes, where we pitch your payments to the rents. The urban rents are going up. If they're 500 today, they're going 1,000. We pitch your payments are the same, so in 7 years, 12 years, you got equity. Now, imagine what it can do. There is nothing to fall back for the parents. This is also for the middle class, where they're paying equivalent to the rents, and it never goes up, and it's interest-free, and it's paid. And we have people who have finished, and they've really got now equity. And let me tell you, when a father, the sons and daughters, why is this happening? When they have an asset, I'm not saying for money, but integral part is money. To run this, Mr. President, you know you need money. To run your family businesses, you know. When a parent has got that asset, Can you imagine? Even the children are going to be circling round because they don't need to focus on the hardships here. They retire, they sell it, they got equity. So there is a lot of advantages. And remember one thing, and then we have the medical board. You see here, if somebody loses a job, what the Jamaats in Africa have to do is what your state does here. This is a welfare state. So he may lose, he might be tight, he lost a job till he's getting a new one, might be hand to mouth. But he doesn't have to worry about his school, his kids. The school continues. Medical, even in whatever state he falls ill, he has a heart attack sitting home, not doing, he'll do till 999. Medical is there, shelter is there. Over there, it is the Jamaats. They have to provide this extra bit for the community. And a person has a heart attack, the medicals are getting, I'm not complaining here, we will manage together, no problem. We have to be with our community, right? But I'm just giving an example, the challenges are different. When he dies to go to the hospital, the Murtaza Bhai is here. By the way, Murtaza Bhai, before I forget, I thank Hyderi, and I also would like to convey my appreciation to Kuwait for facilitating and giving us this platform. And if you communicate to your team, you know what Aga Khan Hospital in Nairobi needs. As soon as the patient lands there, there's a deposit check to be deposited, whether the heart patient or not. That's where the well-wishers come in. Even Jamaats, we all have limitations. The federations come in. Those who need to go out to India, so that's on the medical side. Brothers and sisters, I don't want to take up this time, but I wish we'll have a big forum sometimes and you come over. So housing and education, that's all we need to do, and you're uplifted. Look at the wealth here. These were the students, whether with their own monies or federation institutions' monies, they came here with nothing. Today there are city boys, they're working in fund managers and wherever, and we are very proud of that. So, Mr. President, on that note, I would say it's all one. Africa, Europe, Hyderi, Dar es Salaam, Mombasa. You do your bit with us. We have a collective responsibility to give the people there the opportunity that we all had. So they can come. So that's one. Plus we have a... So you will obviously, your members support. You support us on those smaller monies for you, 500, 1,000, 50,000, 100,000. You support that. And Alhamdulillah, we have a mix in Africa. We have some very, very well-to-do people and corporates, Alhamdulillah, and we should be proud. That's why we want to push the middle class to go into that. And they, after they've done their bits in Africa, they are here. You see, there is no center in United Kingdom or anywhere else where there isn't a big hand or involvement from the African donors. So that's a role they play, and also for 2 or 3 things. A, it's a duty, it's a connection, it's a family. Secondly, it's also that there is a strong feeling for greener pastures. Kids will come here, so they need more centers, strengthened, have money, and it grows, it's good for it. So, Mr. President, that side is open to you. Inshallah, through COAG, whenever you're ready, we will facilitate. They will be at your disposal for your center here, and vice versa. We will tap on your doors and the diaspora here to support the African initiative, to empower them more, and jointly our community will manage everything. So, just before COVID, we had historically all the Jamaats, but just before COVID, Birmingham, Essex, and Peterborough were there, and they got their support, and vice versa, we get support from you. So, Mr. President, we'll work together on these few things. I don't want to take much of your time. I've got a lot to talk here, but very quickly, what Africa is also doing. You see, we have volunteerism. Our organizations. It's a community organization. So they work on subscriptions, charities, and even COMS. COMS has got its guidance where it's a provision where we can use, and it helps. So these are must. These are donations. We don't want to do away with those cultures. Those are very important. But because our modus operandi is changing, our needs are changing. Like today, the professional volunteers need admin staff. Africa Federation directly in their secretariat, we have 20 staff. If I take all my boards and everything, we have over 100 staff. So same thing here. Those needs, your development needs, your upliftment, you need support here, like we do. So cater for that. Over the years, Africa Federation is also side by side gone into investment, income generating projects. And the very last two, one we are launching end of this month, the FED Business Park. Just the two projects are of value of $10 million. And inshallah, it will continue. Those monies, the returns that will come will strengthen. We got to look at it also from that perspective. We got to strengthen. And I'm very happy to learn today that Hyderi has got its investments. Time has come. The professionals will give you time, talent that will never stop. But they don't have time to globetrot and find these millions you need every year. So we got to also bring that in. The donations and combs will continue. So that is another two projects which are finishing in Africa Federation. Inshallah, when you come, we'll show you around. It's huge. It's an ultra-modern business park and an FED Towers. Africa Federation has had a lot of buildings over the years, but it never had its own offices. You know, we have one from the Jamaat that we are renting, and there is a FED Tower, which has got income generation down and above, and the middle sector is going to house all the boards and everything. Our admin offices and what have you. I would finally like to come to your center at Pioneer Place. You know, I sat there doing my speech, what to talk, but it is all off, it went off track. I'm not saying for the sake of it. I visit a lot of centers. This is one center we all have to be proud of. Believe you, I'm chuffed. Why? It's niche, beautiful area. You know, for us to raise our standards, even thinking, we need, I don't mean class or decorations, but we need standards to match our deen and our status. It's got the green, it's the size of the land and the vision. You know, expansion. How many years can that accommodate us? You know why we've done away with this same sizes? Because the life expectancy even in United Kingdom is increasing, but our birth rates have been dropping. So we had the same scenario. You had 2000 or whatever, 2023. But with time, you will have migration from all parts of the world. So that vision is there, done for 10 years. Mr. President, it's niche, serene environment, so much to it. You have done a lot of work in the community. We know your history. You have been a philanthropic, you have served, but I can tell you, Pramukh Saab, this is going to be the legacy of yours and your team. And this is Hyderi's pride. And you know, the president tell me, and I see the warmth and magnetism. He says, this Jamaat is fantastic. Not just for the center, but all the things you do, all of them are in. This is going to be the legacy. This is going to make the Khoja world proud, this center. And I can say, I'm very straight, we need to compete. Somebody should come better than you. But from what we have now, this is the center, the Western world. Basa, Dar es Salaam, Kampala, we have. But in West, it was looking Nairobi. This is it. And fantastic. It's just right atmosphere, everything good, big expansion. And you know, it might be petty. This children's play area outside, it's petty, right? It's today you have it in shopping malls and the indoor, but it's not petty for our centers. This is a must. Not for the convenience of the kids and the parents, but you know, Sayyid, from the childhood, I don't have rights, you know. When the children are accustomed to be in that environment, it has a different, most of us are what we are because of the culture and the foundation we got in Africa and we pushed onto our kids. When these children go there, even they have their birthday parties instead of McDonald's, sorry in the corporate, I shouldn't mention names, but it's better here. They will have it instilled, so when they're growing in schools, this remains. It makes them special. So, Mr. President, I would say, Santi Sana, well done. We should all, globally, not just Africa, be with it, support it. I think I will not, but I will ask you one one day when you have a nice barbecue there, which I don't mind personally sponsoring it, we will come there. You give me half an hour because I haven't talked enough of Africa. Yeah, so we must do that, and you can take me up on that. The secretary is here, and then I can tell you can't say time. And sorry, Sayyid Amar, if I'm taking your time, but I give you that. Give me half hour. I'll bring some. We'll talk, and we'll talk about your center. Your centers, we are going to brag everywhere, mashallah, and I mean it. I'm here. I'm not just saying for the sake of it. Finally, Mr. President, with your permission, since I'm here, I'd just like to remember 2 or 3 personalities of your Jamaat. We had Marum Munawar Bhai Ratansi, a thorough gentleman, my mentor of all of us. We have served under him, we've loved. He's missed everywhere, and I'm surely in your Jamaat. Eloquent speaker, cool, composed, but a guiding force that we have lost. The other one that Africa Federation owes, and I personally owe, is Marum Sultan Bhai Datu. He was the last president of Kampala Jamaat. Aggressive, dynamic, no-nonsense personality he was. He risked his life to secure the Jamaat's properties at that time, and he was coordinating with Africa Federation, and to get many people out. Some of us are here because of his doings at that time. What he did was unbelievable. Tough guy, was an inspiration. I was a young guy. And finally, my uncle, Abdul Rasul Bhai Najafi, who has been your member, he's been a trustee of this Jamaat. So for all of them, the leaders and Marhumins of Hyderi Jamaat, of Koech and Africa Jamaats and Kul Marhumin, I would request a Surah Fatiha for them. Thank you. But the barbecue remains Pramukh Sahib. I must. Thank you.
Thank you, Shabbir Bhai. You clearly were not aware of the ruling at Hyderi. Speakers who overshoot their time get the mic cut off. So you're very lucky today. Honestly, thank you, Shabbir Bhai, for sharing us those thoughts. I'm sure there's something to ponder on that. And also, thank you very much for taking time to be with us. We appreciate that.